Hi guys, Tony Hayes here, and I've got another new tool, and this one is one of the best ever, if not the best that we've done so far. What we've done is we've created a tool that will replicate the social activity of a successful social SEO campaign. And what I mean by that is like a social influencer within any niche. So for example, in video marketing niche, it would be someone like Real SEO. In SEO niche, it would be something like SEO Moz or something like that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to just break down the elements of a successful campaign, and then I'm going to show you the tool that creates this in just one click. And that's not hype, it's not exaggeration, this is not meant to be a hypey type video. This is just facts and reality, and you're going to see for yourself by the end of this video, okay? And because this is version 1.1.0, I'm going to give you a very, very special offer at the end of the video that you can get this tool very, very cheaply, and before we launch it, which will be much more expensive at that point, because we will be adding more features and things to it as well. But let's start by looking at what the elements are for a successful campaign on social media. Now, first of all, you've got to have content that's worth sharing. So, you're going to see these influencers or these sort of authority figures within any niche. They're always creating really good content, and from there they get people following because the content is good and they want to learn more from these people, okay? They always have compelling headlines, without exception. They've always got compelling headlines that make people want to click through, and it increases their click-through rate because it creates curiosity. Things like how-tos, top tips, that kind of thing always do very well. Usually they are providing a solution to a problem that a lot of people might be having, okay? And we're going to have a look at a couple of examples of that in just a second as well. Okay, now the social media posts, the original ones, always come from the content creator. Most people, they have a WordPress site or something, or even an HTML site, but as soon as they make a post on that particular blog or site, then it will get automatically sent out to YouTube, to Google Plus, and to Twitter as well. Everybody should have that set up by now. It's 2014, and I don't really know anybody, any serious SEO or internet marketing person who doesn't have that set up on their sites, okay? So what happens then, once they've made that original post, you get a whole bunch of active followers, okay? And they come along and they reshare that content. And that could be retweets, it could be Google Plus ones, it could be shares on Google, Facebook likes and shares and things like that, okay? That's typically what happens. That's the main elements of what is happening in a real social campaign. But this is where it becomes a little bit tricky when you're trying to make a tool to automate this, is that the shares have been done very naturally and gradually as well, and it's not the exact same followers resharing every single time. Now, for example, Real SEO had some content released last week about Dreamtime teaming up with YouTube. And that's maybe good information for some people. That's online video marketing news, but I'm not going to retweet that or share it on Facebook, because my following is basically SEO related, okay? So there'll be other pieces of content that I would follow, and also I'm not always around when they immediately post something, so I'm not going to be resharing their content immediately the second it's posted, okay? So if you take that into account when we're trying to build a tool, we need to take all of that and we have to replicate it exactly, okay? And what also happens is that this is done sort of on a gradual basis. You might get, a few retweets, a few shares, etc. As soon as the content is posted, and then it just sort of continues almost like a drip feed over the next few days until it's kind of gone semi-viral, I would say. Not every piece of content will go viral, of course, but what happens then is that they're doing this consistently every single time they create a content, and what happens is Google gives them what they call an authority rank, okay? So a little bit like PageRank, but for the content creator. Okay, and this is proven to increase search engine results, because the more content you put out, the more shares it gets every single time. Then Google starts to see, well, that content creator is getting a lot of retweets, it's getting a lot of shares, there's a lot of people talking about the content, so therefore we're going to give him some authority rank, or her, okay? We're going to give them some authority rank, and that's the way it works. That is the elements of a successful social campaign. Now, what are the benefits of that? Well, they're quite obvious. So it's quite obvious to me anyway. You get regular and increasing social shares as you become an influencer. You become an authority in that niche. It raises your profile. Okay, so when people go and see a post by SEO Moz or by Real SEO, what they will see on Twitter is that Real SEO have got 40,000 followers, and so they must be thinking to themselves, well, they must be doing really, really great content, therefore I want to follow them too so that I don't miss anything in case it's something more interesting, just like I've seen here. Okay, and Google sees and rewards this consistent influencer type of activity, and it does increase rankings for them. So that's a major benefit, because with increased rankings comes increased traffic as well. Okay, and with increased social activity becomes social proof, which in turn increases the followers, because they've got the social proof of seeing, for example, 40,000 people following Real SEO on Twitter, and so they want to follow them too. Okay, and so with the social shares and with the increased rankings comes the traffic, and that is your opportunity at that point to increase your money, the money that you can make, because as long as your content is converting, then you will make money. But your goal should always be, in my opinion, to get them into a sales funnel, and that means giving them something for free, getting them to opt in, and that way you can remarket to them many times in the future. Okay, and that's just the way it works. So let's go and have a look at the tool, and we can see exactly how we have replicated this, and you'll be able to see some examples as well. Actually, let's jump into the examples first and we'll do that. Okay, so here we are on Real SEO website. Now what I did is I've got a Chrome plugin that's called RSS Social Metrics or something like that. Okay, and when I click on that, it opens up here, and you can see here all the recent posts done by realseo.com, and you can see here they've got different amounts of shares and likes every single post. It's never ever the same, and it's probably never ever the exact same people. Okay, that's what we need to take into account. That's what we've done with the tool. So you can see here that on Facebook, they got 58 likes for their homepage. They got 198 shares, 593 tweets, etc. But if you go and look at them on Twitter, their actual Twitter, let me just go over here, it's easier. You can see over here, they've got 40,000 followers on Twitter. They've got 16,000 Google Plus followers. They've got in LinkedIn 1,887. They've got 28,000 on YouTube. Now that's kind of high for YouTube, but they are a video marketing authority, so that's kind of natural. It would be expected. But if it was any other sort of specialist, you wouldn't expect them to have that many YouTube followers unless it's somebody like a celebrity, etc. But their content is all about YouTube, SEO and video marketing and that kind of thing. So it's natural they will have a high YouTube following or subscribers. Okay, so anyway, let's go back over here and let's scroll down a little bit. I'm going to show you an example of rankings, okay, because I know that every time these guys come up with content, then it's guaranteed to rank extremely fast. Okay, and the reason for that is because of the social profiles, because of social shares. Okay, they're not looking for getting backlinks. They don't need to look for getting backlinks. They don't need to go on to Majestic SEO and find out where the competitors are getting backlinks from and try to get backlinks from same places. I guarantee you nobody at Real SEO is doing that, or not anymore anyway. They might have done that in the past, but you can see here this one, how to find the meta tags for any YouTube video. You can see that it's got, let's see, 3 Facebook likes, 19 Facebook shares, 66 tweets, and it's got 32 Google Plus and 12 LinkedIn. Now these 66 Twitter ones, it can be, you know, between tweets and retweets. Okay, it doesn't have to be all the one thing like retweets, but you can see it's not even huge amounts of numbers. So do you think we could replicate that if we could replicate the other steps? Okay, I'm going to show you the way that we can do that with just one click, and we can do it with every single piece of content we got. But before we do that, let's open this page up, and you will see here this should be able to confirm what we already know from the RSS extension from Chrome, that Twitter, they've got 66, Facebook 22, Google Plus is not showing yet. It was about 31, LinkedIn 12. Okay, so how to find the meta tags for any YouTube video. Now if I copy that title, I guarantee you it's on page 1, and it's only a few days old. Okay, I can guarantee you that will be on page 1. Let's go and search in Google, and there we are. He's sitting there on page 1 after 7 days. Now I did this video yesterday, and I had actually did another one day before that, and he was sitting at number 1 even then. Okay, so let's go and find something a little bit more recent and see if we can find some analysis from that. Let me just go and find that again, and I'm looking for something recently posted that looks interesting. Okay, this one looks quite good. This one here, YouTube channel suspended or affected by Google Plus issues, so question mark, they have a fix. Okay, so you can see he's got 2 Facebook likes, 10 Facebook shares, 42 on Twitter, that could be tweets and retweets, 80 on Google Plus. That's actually very, very high for Google Plus, but you know, just this doesn't necessarily mean plus ones. It could be, you know, people plus oneing, and then when they do that, they send it out to extended circles, and then people start sharing as well. That's what really counts with Google Plus. It's the Google shares. Okay, Google plus ones are okay, they'll get you backlinks. The Google shares have more value, right? So let's just go and have a look at this one, and then we are going to do the search, and let's do a sort of shorter search this time. Let's do YouTube channel suspended, and let's see if they're ranking on page 1 yet. Now don't forget, this just, when was it posted? I think that's today, 2:50, about 8 hours ago that was posted. Okay, they're there with a press release, and at the top of page 2 just 9 hours ago with their actual blog page. Now by tomorrow that's going to be on page 1. It'll probably rise up to about number 1, I would imagine, with the amount of social shares that they're getting, but watch that one, it will just keep rising. That will be number 1. You're probably watching this video you know, a couple of weeks down the line or something, and I bet you that's sitting at number 1. So it's January 16th right now, 2:50 p.m. my time in Thailand, and that was posted 9 hours ago. He will be on page 1 in a few hours, absolutely guaranteed. Okay, let's take a look at somebody else now. There's a guy called Jeff Bullis. Let's just open this in a new window. He's got a lot of people follow him. You can see here just his homepage here. He's got 198 Facebook shares and 616 tweets. You will find that often the tweets and the Twitter followers, etc., are higher than anything else. So he's got 22 social media facts. Let's see if we can find something else here. Scroll down. Well, that's that one page. Let's go to his actual homepage. I want to find something that might be just a little bit older that we can go and search for the results. This guy writes epic blog posts. They're really big blog posts, and you can see he's putting multimedia content on there. He's doing good optimization. He's got images, he's got podcast or audio, and he's got a lot of infographics and things like that. But it works for him, you know. If you put that effort in, I think he's only doing maybe 1 or 2 per week, but it works for him. Let's see if I can get a list of previous popular articles here. Okay, 35 mind-numbing YouTube facts, figures and statistics. It's an infographic. Scroll down, see if I can find something else that's not an infographic. Just see if I see something. Okay, we will have a look at this one, and recent posts, that might be better. Okay, this looks better. 5 Twitter marketing tactics, okay, and 22 social media facts. So let's go for the 5 Twitter marketing tactics, because what we can do here is forget the 5. Let's just go for Twitter marketing tactics in here, and let's see if he's ranking for that. Here he is, ranking for on page one for Twitter marketing tactics. Now, I can guarantee you that guy's not going about looking at Majestic SEO to get backlinks. He doesn't need to. The social shares are doing it all for him. People are sharing this stuff. Okay, now if I look on his page, I've got another little extension up here that can tell me exactly how many he's got here. This one's called Share Metric extension. He's got 22 Facebook likes, 129 Facebook shares. That's quite significant. Only 3 comments. Okay, so he's got a total of 152 links coming in from Facebook, Twitter 756, Google 87, LinkedIn 145. That is why he's ranking on page 1, guys. That's quite a major keyword, actually, Twitter marketing tactics. That's why he's ranking so well. But if you look at those numbers again, they're not really that high, apart from the Twitter one and perhaps the LinkedIn one. They're really not that high. Okay, so Facebook, that could be replicated really quite easily. The Twitter one, you would need to probably have about 1,200 Twitter accounts to be able to do that with the tool, but you don't always need that many. Okay, and what we can do then is we can just build up gradually. So let's go take a look at the tool. Okay, so here I am inside a WordPress post, and you can see here I've just pulled in something from Aweber with a little plugin created to help me do that. So every time I post on Aweber, it will just automatically get pulled into WordPress. So down here, what you can see is the settings for Social Traffic Commando. Now, these little boxes here, we've kept them individual for 2 reasons. Okay. What you can do here is you can put in a spin syntax share message. Now, 2 reasons are, first of all, some of these social sites have a different kind of mentality, a different kind of audience, and some have got different amounts of characters and amount of characters you can use. We know that Twitter's got 140 maximum, and plus you need to be using your a shortener in here as well, because you only got that 140 characters, so that would count as well, even putting the URL in there. So you want to use a URL shortener when using for Twitter. But what you can do as well is, if I wanted only to post to Twitter, for example, and go and get some retweets, then I can just choose to put Twitter in here. But if I did that, I would also choose Delicious, and I would choose Digo as well, because these are bookmarking sites, and these 2 will bookmark the actual Twitter post. Okay, so what will happen then is we will make one Twitter post from one account, and then the other accounts would come and do things like retweets, but it would never be the same accounts every single time. There would always be random accounts. It was never ever the exact number. It's never ever the exact accounts, same social accounts from Twitter. It's always random, and it's always done on a drip feed as well. Okay, so it might do a few every hour, which just sort of replicates a real social campaign. Now, once you fill these in, you can just put one spin tax for one sort of sentence, and you can have some spin syntax in there, and you can add the same to every single one of these. Just copy and paste it in there if you want to do it. That's a quick and easy way to do it. And then the only thing you have to do after that is come up here and click update, and you are done. Okay, but before we can do that, we need to be adding accounts. So let's go and see the accounts that we can work with at the moment. Now, we are working to add some more in here. We want to add Pinterest and StumbleUpon, and there might be some others as well, but it must be accounts that we can do reshares from, or bookmarking sites. Okay, so if I click here, you can see I've got 2 accounts in Digo, 2 in Delicious, 1 in LiveJournal, quite a few there on Tumblr, Plurk, Twitter, and I've got LinkedIn as well. Okay, now we did have a lot more the other day, not that many more, but we had done such a big update that we had to change all the databases, and so we had to try and add these again. And I did just this few here for the purposes of doing some video demos. Anyway, we can add unlimited accounts here. Absolutely unlimited accounts. There's no limit at all. I could put in here 500 Twitter accounts, 1,000 Twitter accounts, and it's always going to have the same effect. The first post will be made from the WordPress site, from an influencer account. The others will come and retweet, and that will be from random accounts every time. It's never going to be exact same accounts. It's never going to be the exact same numbers again, and it's always going to be in a drip feed. Okay, so once you've added these accounts in here, what will happen then is, once you've made your post, you've updated over here, then it will go into what we call the post queue. and you can see I've got 4 pages of stuff queued up here. Some have already been posted, and you can see down here as we scroll down, I've got bookmarks going to a Tumblr post from Delicious. I've got Deagle bookmarking the same Tumblr post. We got reblogs on Tumblr. We got retweets, and we've got an original post here, which is from Tumblr. That one will be reblogged, and that's the way it works. Okay, and it all works basically on a very, very gradual basis, and because of that, it doesn't take a lot of resources either. Okay, so you can see the power of this. Now, what we really could do with this, and this is what I'm thinking at the moment, you know, some of these sites, if you can get to the first page of those sites, especially when we had sites like StumbleUpon, if you can get to the first page of those sites, then you can get a huge amount of traffic from them, but you're going to need to have a lot of reshares to be able to make that happen. Okay, so the obvious question is, how easy is it to get the accounts done? How easy is it to add the accounts? Well, the answer is we are working right now on building a little social account creator. At the time of recording this, we're probably about a week away from having that ready, or at least part of it ready. And in the meantime, what you can do is you can go over to Fiverr.com and you can find people that will do you know, 100 Twitter accounts and 100 Tumblr accounts. Some of the other accounts would be harder to get done on Fiverr.com, but you can find some gigs on Fiverr where they're offering to create social media accounts on any site, and you know, you might get 25 done for $5 or something like that, which is good for things like Digo and LiveJournal and Delicious. Okay, now there's some major updates planned, and we're probably about 4 days away from those being implemented, and when they are implemented, the price that I've got for you today is going to be up. Okay, and basically what I'm doing is I'm releasing this 1.0 version to my own list and to very, very selective affiliates lists. And what we want to do is get some feedback and, you know, make sure it's working for everybody, get some feedback on additional features that we can add as well. Now, there's already some being added anyway. And when we've got those updates done, the price has gone up. At today's price, you can get this for just $47. When I have got this plugin ready for launch, and we will do a big launch with this one, this version that I'm going to give you today is going to be $197. So you can get a real good deal and have that nice warm fuzzy feeling when you see that selling at $197, knowing that you've got a real bargain. I don't know any tool that can do what this one can do. It's such a good tool, and I actually didn't think that we would be able to do it because it's so complex in the nature of what it does. You know, it does the drip feeds, it does random accounts that it's going to be doing resharing, it does resharing. I've never seen other tools doing that without using real people's accounts. The good thing is here that you control all of this, and you can put as many accounts in here as you want, and you know that it's going to be drip fed, it's going to look completely natural. It's all done from secret API keys and API keys from within these sites. And when you actually go to add an account, if I go over here, if I go to click on add a new account, say for example for LiveJournal, it's going to ask me for username and password, and then I click on the verify. And what you will notice is it takes a few seconds for it to load. And the reason for that is because it's going to get the API key for that particular account that we're adding, and plus the secret API key. So we're saving you time from having to go and do that. Okay, we've got another tab here called API configuration. That's all we had before, and I told my coder we need to automate that, otherwise this plugin, no matter how good it is going to be really hard for people to use. And this is what he came up with. So whenever you click to verify, it will do all the work to get that API configuration for you, and it takes just a few seconds and it's done, and it will confirm. You have a little green tick appear, and then you can add the next account as well. Now with the social account creator that we're getting done, I actually want him to be able to log into a WordPress site, so it will be a desktop software, and what I want them to do is to make it that they can log into a WordPress site with the WordPress credentials, and they can put in, you know, like 50 or 100 accounts or more, and it will just come in and automate that. So you can go and have a coffee while it adds a username, password, verify. When that one's completed, it will add the next one, username, password, and verify. That's the plan, okay? That's what I'm planning to do, because then if we got that, then we've got something very, very special, because we can take this as far as we want to take it, as far as how many accounts that we can create, and I've taken all the difficulty out of it for you. Okay, pretty cool, huh? So that's what Social Traffic Commando X is. This is the X version I'm offering you today. The obvious question you probably got is how many accounts, how many WordPress sites can you put this on? The answer is, for you guys, it's unlimited, but we are monitoring the IP addresses, okay? You can use it on unlimited personal accounts, but we will be monitoring the IP addresses from the license system, because we don't want any group sharing or group buying, and we want to discourage that, because you know, these tools, they're not cheap to create, and they are very, very high quality tools, especially this one. This has got to be one of the best ever that I've done, and one of the best social tools that I've ever seen. I'm so pleased that we got this working even the way it is right now, and this is just version 1.0. When we get to version 1.4, 1.5, it's going to look completely different, and it will be even more powerful than it is now. But it is working for rankings, because we've been testing it in the last week, and you know, I'm seeing results, not major keywords, but they're getting results very, very fast, and that is just by social shares. Okay, now we did a webinar on Sunday. I showed some results from the week before, just using social shares, and it makes a major impact in the search engines. Now, if you keep doing that for every single WordPress post you do, then you will get that authority rank from Google, and that means you will rank faster, and you will get more traffic because you're ranking faster. Okay. There's one more feature I want to show you. You can import accounts in bulk for 3 sites: for Reddit, for Digo, and for LiveJournal. You can upload a CSV file. I've got an example CSV file in the member area, and all you need to do is fill in the details. So you put in one column Reddit, and the next column would be a bunch of usernames, and the next column would be a bunch of the passwords, but they must be congruent to each other, and there must be the correct password and username, obviously. Then you can upload those, and it will import in bulk for those 3 sites: for Reddit, for Digo, and for LiveJournal. Okay, the other sites need to be done one by one, but we will find a way to automate that even better than what it is right now as well. But it is going and doing all the API configuration for every single account for you, and that is pretty major. That's pretty epic. Such a good tool. It really is such a good tool, and you can have this happening every time you make a WordPress post, just by coming down here, writing one sentence that has got some spin tags. You can copy and paste it into all of that, and come up here and click update, and you are done. Every time you make a WordPress blog post, you are done. So if you've got a lot of accounts in there, then you can expect to get big results. But I would suggest that you build these up gradually. You start to mimic or replicate what a real social influencer would be like, and they don't start off with 5,000 accounts straight away. You want to build it up gradually. If you do that, you will get great results, and this is probably one of the most important SEO tools ever to be created. Believe me, I'm not saying that in a hyper way. I'm not saying that in any sort of arrogant way. This is a fantastic tool. Now, if I saw someone else had a tool like this, I would just snap it up, because I know the importance of this strategy. I've proven it to you by looking at these guys' results, and they get those results from social shares. Okay, so that's it for now, guys. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you on the inside. It's only $47 right now. Grab it while you can, because this is going to be one of these most important SEO tools ever. I guarantee that. Thanks. Bye bye.